Hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
In this video, we will see subsets, power set and universal set. So we will see these three topics. In my previous video, we have seen about topics. So if you haven't watched that, there is a link in the description box below. You can check that out. So first let's see what is subset. A set A is said to be a subset of set B if every element of A is also an element of B. Let's understand this by taking an example. Let's take a set A whose elements are A, B, C, and we have set B whose elements are A, B, C, D, E. So here it says a set A is said to be a subset of set B if every element of A is also an element of B. So every element of A should be present in the set B. So here if you see, we have A, B, C. So all these elements are also present in set B, A, B, C, right? So therefore we can say set A is a subset of set B. So this is a symbol for subset. So every element of set A should be present in set B. Then we can say set A is a subset of set B. If one or two elements of set A are present in set B, then it's not a subset. So every element of set A should be present in set B. Now let me give another set. Let's say set E, whose elements are A, E, I, O, U. Now let's see if set E is a subset of set B. That means every element of set E should be present in set B. Let's check. So we have A, E is also is there, I, but we don't have I here. So therefore, we can say set E is not a subset of B. So this is a symbol we use for not a subset. Similarly, you can see if set A is a subset of set E. That means every element of set A should be present in E. So we have A, B, C. A is here but B is not there. That means set A is also not a subset of E. You can also check if B is a subset of E. So B we have A, B, C, D, E. So here we have A. We don't have B here. So therefore we can say B is also not a subset of E. So to be a subset, every element of set A should belong to set B. Then only we can say set A is a subset of set B. So this you can write mathematically. A is a subset of B if A belongs to A, set A, which implies A has to belongs to set B as well. So I repeat, when you can say A is a subset of B, if an element A belongs to set A, that implies A has to belongs to B as well. Then only we can say set A is a subset of set B. So I hope this is clear. So let's see some important points on subset, but before that, pause the video and note this down. So let's go through these points. Here it says empty set is a subset of any set. So let's take an empty set. We know empty set is a set with no element. And we have any set. Let's take any set A, B, C. So here it says empty set is a subset of any set. We know to be a subset, every element of set A should be present in set B. Here we have no element, which means this is already there, right? Therefore we can say empty set is a subset of any set. Next we have every set is a subset of itself. Let's take a set A whose elements are 1, 2, 3. Here it says every set is a subset of itself, which means set A is a subset of set A. We know to be a subset, every element of set A. Here the every elements are 1, 2, 3, which is present in set A. We have 1, 2, 3, right? So therefore we can say every set is a subset of itself. So next we have if A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A. So this is possible only when A is equal to B. That means A and B are equal sets. Let's say for example we have a set A 1, 3, 5 and we have set B where X is an element such that X is an odd natural number less than 6. Which means set B is, in tabular form we can write x is an odd natural number less than 6. So 1 is there, 3 and 5, right? So here if you see, A is a subset of B. That means elements 1, 3, 5 is present in B, 1, 3, 5. Therefore we can say A is a subset of B. And also we have B is a subset of A. B we have 1, 3, 5 which is also present in A, 1, 3, 5. So this is possible only when these two sets are equal. Here they are equal, right? So A is 1, 3, 5 and B is 1, 3, 5. So in general we can say if A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A, so this is possible only when both the sets are equal sets. Now let's move on to the next one. Here we have if A is a subset of B and A is not equal to B, then A is called as a proper subset of B and B is called as a super subset of A. Say for example we have set A whose elements are 1, 2, 3 and we have set B whose elements are 1, 2, 3, 4. So here A is a subset of B. Here the elements of A are 1, 2, 3 which is present in B. So therefore we can say A is a subset of B. And A is not equal to B. Clearly they are not equal. In such type of sets, A is called as a proper subset of B and B is called as a superset of A. So last we have if set A has only one element, such set is called a singleton set. Say for example we have a set A with only one element. Let's take element I. So such sets are called as singleton set. I hope these points are clear. Now let's see one small example, but before that pause the video and note this down. So now let's see this example. Here it says consider the set. Here we have pi which is an empty set and we have set A where the elements are 1, 3 and in set B we have 1, 5, 9 and in set C we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Insert the symbol subset or not a subset between each of the following pair of sets. So here we have empty set. We know empty set is a subset of any set. So therefore it's a subset of any set. So it's a subset of, here it's given B. Next we have to check if set A is a subset of B or not a subset of B. So in set A we have 1, 3 and in set B we have to check if 1, 3 is present in B. We have only 1, 3 is not there. So therefore A is not a subset of B. And check in A and C whether A is a subset or not a subset of C. So in A we have 1, 3, in C we have 1, 3, right? So therefore we can say set A is a subset of C. Now let's check if set B is a subset of C. So in set B we have 1, 5, 9 and check if these three elements are present in C, 1, 5, 9. So they are there. So therefore we can say set B is a subset of set C. Now let's see one more example. Now let's see this problem. Here it says let A, B and C be three sets. If A belongs to B and B is a subset of C, is it true that A is a subset of C? If not, give example. So before we start, let me tell you the difference between belongs to and a subset. In belongs to, we see the elements, whether that elements belongs to the set or not. Say for example, we have a set 1, 2, 3. So here 1 belongs to set this, or you will say 2 belongs to the set this. So here we are looking for element, whether that element is belonging to the set or not, right? Whereas in subset, we are seeing the whole set 1, 2. Let's say 1, 2 is a subset of this set. Or you can say set 1 is a subset of this set. So here we are seeing the set, whether the set is a subset of this or not, right? Now let's move on to question. Let me erase this. So here we have let A, B and C be three sets. Let's take a set A, B and C be a three sets. If A belongs to B, here A is the element, right? So let's take a set A as 1. A belongs to B means in set B, we should have this A. So this is the element, right? And let's take another element 2. And we have B is a subset of C. For a B to be a subset of C, all the elements of B should be present in C, right? So we have 1, 2 and let's take 3. So here A belongs to B and B is a subset of C. We have to check if it's true that A is a subset of C. We have to see if set A is a subset of C. To be a subset, we know every element of A should be present in C. But here in set A we have element 1, but in set C we don't have element 1. We have this whole is the element within the curly braces, right? This whole is the element. We don't have 1. So therefore we can say A is not a subset of C. Why it is not a subset of C? 1 belongs to A. Element 1 belongs to A, whereas element 1 not belongs to set C. So therefore set A is not a subset of C. So I hope this is clear. Now let's move to subsets of set of real numbers. Now let's see what do you mean by subsets of set of real numbers. We all know what are real numbers. Every number on the number line are called as real numbers, that is from minus infinity to plus infinity. So therefore we have infinite numbers on this number line. So those numbers are called as real numbers. So set of those numbers are called as set of real numbers. So therefore real numbers includes with decimal numbers, without decimal numbers, right? So these real numbers includes with decimal number and without decimal numbers. So in this number line we have 0, 1, 2 and so on. Here we have minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. So from 0 to 1 there are infinite numbers which are in decimals, right? So those numbers called as with decimal numbers. And without decimal numbers are those 1, 2, 3 and here we have 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. All these are without decimal numbers which are nothing but integers. So without decimal numbers are nothing but integers, right? So in integers we have positive integers. Positive integers are 1, 2, 3 and so on. These are also natural numbers, right? And this integers also includes negative integers. So negative integers are minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. And these integers also include whole number. Whole number means from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, right? So in with decimal numbers we have 3 types of numbers. So we have terminating numbers, non-terminating repeating numbers, repeating numbers, and last we have non-terminating non-repeating numbers. So for terminating we have 2.132. So they are terminating. Non-terminating repeating means we have 2.131313 and so on. They are non-terminating plus they are repeating. And for non-terminating non-repeating means we have 2.32164 and so on. They are non-terminating plus they are not repeating. So terminating and non-terminating repeating are nothing but your rational numbers, which you can write in the form of P by Q, where Q not equal to 0. And non-terminating non-repeating numbers are nothing but your irrational numbers. So therefore we can say real numbers includes rational numbers, irrational numbers and integers. So set of natural numbers. So natural numbers are 1, 2, 3 and so on. So these are represented by capital N. Set of integers, that is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. These are represented by Z. So positive integers are represented by Z plus, which includes only positive numbers, that is 1, 2, 3 and so on. So here if you see, this is equal to capital N. This is nothing but your natural numbers, right? And rational numbers are represented by letter Q. This you cannot write in the tabular form. It should be written in the set builder form, set of rational numbers. There is no particular order to write them in the tabular form. There are infinite numbers. Any number of the form P by Q, where Q not equal to 0 is a rational number. So we cannot write them in a tabular form. Same way real numbers. This also we cannot write them in the tabular form. So set of real numbers, which is represented by letter R. And irrational numbers are represented with letter T. Set of irrational numbers. And we left whole numbers. So whole number is represented by letter W, which includes 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, right? So here if you see, natural number is a subset of whole numbers. So here we have 1, 2, 3, all the elements of n are present in whole number. So therefore we can say n is a subset of W, right? Let me write in blue ink. So n is a subset of W. And you can say this W is a subset of Z, because it includes 0, 1, 2, 3. Here also it is there 1, 2, 3, right? So therefore we can say this W is a subset of Z. So now if you see, Z is a subset of rational numbers. So we know rational numbers are of the form P by Q, which can be written in the form of P by Q. So Z, all the numbers on the Z can be written in the form of P by Q. That means these numbers are included in this set. So therefore we can say Z is a subset of Q, right? Subset of Q. So this Q is a subset of real numbers. All the numbers of rational numbers are present in the real numbers, right? So therefore we can say Q is a subset of R. So therefore we have natural number is a subset of whole number, and whole number is a subset of integers. Integer is a subset of rational numbers, and rational number is a subset of real numbers. We can also say T, that is an irrational number, is a subset of real numbers, because all the numbers of irrational are present in the real numbers, right? So therefore we can say T is a subset of R. So these are the subsets of set of real numbers. I hope this is clear. Now let's move on to intervals as subsets of R. But before that, pause the video and note this down. Now let's see intervals as subsets of R. We know a number line. So we have from minus infinity to infinity. So all the numbers on the number line are real numbers. So any part on this number line, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So let's take any part from 0 to 3. So this part is a subset of real number, agreed? So this part is called as interval. Any part. So this interval is a subset of R, right? Is a subset of R, that is a real number. So in this particular interval, there are infinite numbers from 0 to 3, right? So here 0 and 3 are the end points of this interval. We don't know whether this 0 and 3 are included in this interval or not. So there can be 4 possibilities. So that how can you write in mathematically? X is an interval such that where X belongs to R and X lies in between 0 to 3. So this can be one possibility. And next we have X where X belongs to R and X can be equal to 0 but less than 3. Here 3 is not included but 0 is included. This can be another possibility. And one more we have X where X belongs to R and here 0 is not included but 3 is included. And last case we have X where X belongs to real number. Here both 0 and 3 are included. So these 4 possibilities can be possible, right? So how do you represent this in the number line? So we have an interval from 0 to 3. Here you can take A to B also, but here we have taken an interval from 0 to 3. So let's continue with 0 to 3. Here if you see, here 0 and 3 are not included. So here it is x is greater than 0 but less than 3, which means 0 and 3 are not included. So in that case, you will first highlight this 0 to 3 and you have to create a node. This is called as a node or a hole. This is how you represent if the endpoints are not included. If the endpoints are not included, they are also represented by using this bracket 0, 3 with a curved bracket, which is also called as open interval. If any one of the endpoints are included, then it is represented by square bracket. So here we have 0 is included and 3 is not included, that is excluded. So therefore, here we have curved bracket. So how do you represent in the number line? So from 0 to 3, we have to highlight this portion from 0 to 3. Here 0 is included. If it's included, you have to make a point here. This is called as dark or a dot. And here 3 is not included. So therefore we have to make a node like this. Let's move on to third one. In this case, from 0 to 3, we have to highlight this portion 0 to 3. Here 0 is not included and 3 is included. If 3 is included means we will make a dot here and 0 is not included means we will make a node. So how do you write this? 0 is not included, so we have a curved bracket like this, and 3 is included, so we have a square bracket. And last one we have from 0 to 3, so you will highlight this portion. Here 0 is included, so we will make a dot here, and 3 is also included. So that means we have 0, 3 within the square bracket. Now let's see how to find this length of the interval by using formula. We have formula, let me do here. Length of interval is given by formula b minus a. In this case, we have b is 3 and a is 0. So 3 minus 0 is 3. So the length of the interval is 3. So this is all about intervals as subsets of R. Now let's move on to power set. But before that, pause the video and note this down. Now let's see what is power set. It's a collection of all subsets of set A. So let's take a set A where the elements are 1, 2. So here it says it's a collection of all subsets of set A. What are the subsets of set A? First let's write the subsets of set A. So we know empty set is a subset of A. And we know set 1 is also a subset of A. And we have set 2 is also a subset of A. And 1, 2 is also a subset of A, right? So the set of these subsets, are called as power set. So power set is denoted by P of A. So the power set is the set of these subsets of set A. So here number of subsets in power set are 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 subsets. What if in set A there were large number of elements? Then finding subsets it will be difficult, right? In that case, finding number of elements, number of subset in power set is given by using formula 2 power m, where m is the number of element in the set. In this case, set A. So here number of elements is 2, 1, 2. So your number of subsets in power set is 2 power 2. So we have 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So number of subset in a power set is calculated by using formula 2 power m. So this is about power set. Now let's move on to universal set. Now let's see what is universal set. In a particular context, biggest possible set is a universal set. Say for example, for a set of natural numbers, Universal set is set of integers, or it can be a set of real numbers. In other words, you have to see where this will fit as a subset. Here if you see natural number is a subset of integers, it can also be a subset of real numbers. So therefore the natural number, the universal set of natural numbers are integers or real numbers. Similarly, if you say for a set of irrational numbers, what can be a universal set? Universal set can be a real numbers, set of real numbers, right? So universal set is nothing but in a particular context, biggest possible set is a universal set. I hope this is clear. So this is it in this video. If you have any doubt or queries, do let me know in the comment section below. See you soon. Till then, take care. Almighty bless.